We are recording, Douglas. Oh my gosh, you pig. That was fake. Because your real burp would have been a lot bigger than that, wouldn't it? Oh, where are you going? Jeez. No, see, now I'm going to have to cut it. Yeah. Okay.
You can keep that in there.
Good evening, folks. It's a wonderful, sunny evening out there. And here we are in the basement.
It can't be sunny.
It is. We are,
I don't know what the sun looks like.
today's the 28th. And there was what, like, out of 28 days, 25 was rain? No,
23, 24.
24 was rain. So we're ready for some sunshine. We'll take whatever the good Lord gives us, but we really are ready for sunshine.
Yes, we are. The warmth actually felt good today.
It did. It did. I actually was standing in the sun for a minute. Where was I? I was standing. Oh, I was at Fisher's. I went and got some lunch meat. And on the way out, I saw the ice cream. You know, they had the little ice cream stand, but I thought, well, I'll go outside and order. You know, I didn't want to have to carry my little lunch meat bags and everything with my ice cream. So I went out and stood. I don't know what took them so long, but it was actually warm in the sun. And I thought, I forgot what that was like.
Probably prayed for rain, didn't you?
Yeah. No.
Well, I wish it would cool off.
Boy, yeah. No, that's coming soon enough. So, it's been a good week. Doug, anything new with your week?
Nope, just work.
Just
work.
Yeah, we have work, and more work. But you know what? We're thinking today, with all this work, and with all the aggravations we deal with on a daily basis, still have to thank the good Lord that we have jobs, that we've been able to afford to live, and put food on the table, put kids through college, and here we sit, dressed in the finest of clothing. That's because all it's gone.
Yeah,
The kids took it all.
Definitely the good Lord has blessed us, so we can't complain even though we do. But,
Yes.
We've been busy.
Yes. So tonight's topic is questions, and more questions.
So we're talking about questions.
We're talking about questions.
Why?
Because, you know what? I think about stuff all day long. My mind just goes round and round and round and round. And it's amazing.
Mine's like a sack of potatoes. It doesn't move.
I know. Doug is content. You don't really care if your answers are ever. I don't even know if you think of questions. Do you ever just sit and think of, you know, how's the sun stay up in the sky? You know, what forms the clouds?
I know all that.
Why does the grass keep on growing? Those type of things. Why does my hair grow? Why can't I just have a nice style and it just stop where I want it to stop?
God made it that way. So
Okay,
that's all
there you
to-
go. That's the answers.
Yep, we're done.
Yep,
Thank you.
that's it. Well, children have a lot of questions.
Yes, they do.
I was looking up stuff. The children ask a staggering 73 questions every day.
I read the same thing actually.
You did, because I
Yes.
gave you the paper.
No, I looked it
Oh,
up.
did you look it up?
Yeah.
73 questions a day. Half of those questions the parents struggle to answer. I can remember the kids being smaller, just asking question after question after question, and just rambling on in the back seat in their car seats. And I can remember saying, please be quiet. Mommy just needs to be able to think. You know, I had no answers. Some popular ones are, why do people die? Well, I don't know if they ever asked that at that time. Where did I come from? Now that's a question that every parent struggles with. What is God? How was I made? What does we can't afford it mean? Is Santa Claus real? Why do I have to go to school? When you die, who will I live with? Now, I do remember, why is the sky blue? I do remember that question.
That's a common question.
That's a common question. And why can't I stay up as late as you? Or some of the more common ones that kids ask. But that's only like 10. And if they ask an average of 73 questions a day, that's a lot of questions.
That's a lot of questions. I like the one I found. Why don't we want others to see our private parts?
That is a question. Well, because as a child,
You're-
your private parts, you don't care if
You're
people
not-
see
Yeah,
them.
you're not embarrassed about that.
You
don't-
run
you
around
haven't-
butt naked and
you
don't
haven't
care.
learned that yet.
Yeah. When do we learn that?
Pretty quick.
Yeah, I guess so. Well, thankfully, we all don't run around with our private parts showing because I think probably about 98, 99% of the population nobody wants to see anyway in their
Yeah.
nakedness. I know, I don't.
A lot of times it's not that pretty.
What, did you have some other ones, or was that it?
No, that was the.
That was
why,
the big one.
Why aren't there any more dinosaurs?
Well,
Why do grown-ups cry sometimes when they're happy?
I do. I cry when I'm happy.
Why are there so many languages in the world? How do we answer those questions?
I don't know.
It's like, okay, kid, shut up.
Shut up. Shut up. And you know what? We do that with a lot of questions. I have a lot of questions, Doug, that I really.
Oh, I know you have a lot of questions.
These are some serious questions right here that I have. Right here. As a child, growing up, I loved hot dogs. I loved them. My parents, there was some place, what's that? Is that Inlows there? What is that, on the way to Duncansville, or where is that
In
at?
Duncansville.
Okay, so that Inlows. But anyway, we used to go get hot dogs there, but McDonald's, we used to go to McDonald's, and I was never happy because they never served hot dogs. And that's a big question that bothers me. Why doesn't McDonald's sell hot dogs? Why not? Do you know?
I don't know.
Okay, another one. Here's another one. At the movie theater, which armrest is yours?
That's a good question.
Because they only have one in between two seats. So which armrest is yours, the right or the left? These are things that we need to know.
What's,
What were you
I
gonna
know why
say?
you don't sleep at night.
Yeah. Why do doctors leave the room when you change? They're going to see you naked anyway. They do. They tell you to get up on the table. They lay out the little covers that you can do. They tell you to get undressed. Everybody leaves. And then the doctor plus a nurse comes back and, you know, they see everything anyway, so it doesn't make any sense.
I can't answer that.
Why is the Lone Ranger called Lone if he is always has his Indian friend Tonto with him? He's not alone, is he?
No.
He's not the Lone Ranger because he has Tonto.
Tonto doesn't talk much, though.
Do you know, I don't actually remember that show too much. I remember seeing the previews, it was in black and white, but I don't know if I actually sat down and watched the Lone Ranger.
We did.
Did you?
Yep.
That's because you
We
probably...
only got 2 channels. We didn't
Yeah.
have a choice.
That's true. That's true. When
And why did we only get 2 channels?
I don't know. Was there even a Fox or an ABC network back then?
Well, there
We
was,
got 6 and 10. CBS and NBC.
there was ABC, but we didn't get it.
We got cable. I can remember, I don't know, maybe I was about 12, 14. I don't remember when we actually got cable, but cable at that time consisted of, I think, like 10 channels. And we thought we were in heaven.
Yeah. Well, we were still out in the country, so we didn't get any more channels.
you-
We had an antenna. That's what we had.
Well, that's what we have here now. We got rid of the direct TV. We just have the antenna.
She got rid of it.
Well, we didn't need it. We didn't watch it enough to warrant the absorbent amount of money they charge.
Let's get back to
Oh,
why.
okay. When does it stop being partly cloudy and start being partly sunny? Who knows?
Why do they say partly cloudy instead of partly sunny?
Instead of partly cloudy, that's clouds and sun together. That's what they should call it. Today.
No, I'm tired. Don't get me started.
Today is partly cloudy. Have you walked outside? It's cloudy out there. Okay. I didn't come up with these questions. I'm sorry. These are just made up ones because I really don't care about these. But another one. Is there a time limit on fortune cookie predictions?
No.
No, I don't think there is. That could be, a prediction is a prediction. It could happen tomorrow or 25, 30 years from now.
Yeah, and the cookies are already stale, so
Oh,
it's
they
not
are.
like they.
Yeah. And since
Expired.
bread is square, then why is sandwich meat round?
It's true. And your camera lens is round, but why your picture square?
Excellent, excellent
Good
question.
question.
How does that happen? These are things we need to know. When atheists go to court, do they have to swear on the Bible? If I don't know. I never thought about it. Why does the Easter Bunny carry eggs? Rabbits don't lay eggs. They don't.
No.
That should be like the Easter chicken. Well, a hen. Which ones lay the eggs? Not the rooster.
It's the hen.
The hen, yeah.
It's usually the female that
The female,
yeah.
the hen, and they lay little chickens, right?
Yeah.
Okay. See, I need to.
We have to have that discussion every now and then.
And do prison buses have emergency exits? That's a good one. Do you want all the prisoners getting off the bus?
Don't know.
Okay, so you have been absolutely no help.
Well, I could come up with answers, but they're not going to be right.
Well, these are a few silly questions that we had that really aren't very important, but you know, you do have to question sometimes.
Well, when do kids stop asking questions?
They don't. Well,
Sure they do.
Well, I guess they do. I guess they stop asking questions. Do you think when they feel that they have received the answer that makes sense? No.
I don't think so.
Was that do you have an answer for that? Because
No.
I don't have an answer for it.
I didn't type it all. Actually, what I wanted to read, I couldn't copy.
Oh, you couldn't
It was
copy and paste?
it was on a blog, so I wasn't going to retype it because my typing skills weren't very good. But they went into when kids start to go to school, everything's done on the reward system, and you're actually not encouraged to ask too many questions. You know, the classrooms are large. Teachers don't have time to sit and answer a bunch of questions. You're
Yeah.
not encouraged to ask questions. You're encouraged to get the right answer and then be satisfied with that. So I think once kids start to...
When they're no longer, yeah. I mean, we discourage questions from day one.
Yep.
We don't like to be bothered.
Well, we have some sayings like curiosity killed the cat.
Yeah. That's a good
Don't
one.
ask, don't tell. Ask me no more questions and I'll tell you no more lies.
Mm-hmm.
So we have those type of things where we're actually encouraging kids not to ask questions when they've asked 100 questions in that day.
You just don't feel like answering.
We're tired. We don't
Yeah.
want to hear it. We would rather them go somewhere else. So they're not encouraged to ask a lot of questions.
And I think that goes throughout the whole life. Some of the things that, here's a few more thought-provoking questions. Now these, we'll get into the serious questions here soon, but some thought-provoking questions is, when it's all said and done, will you have said more than you've done?
Say that again.
When all is said and done, will you have said more than you have done? I think I will, because my mouth just goes blah, blah, blah. Seriously, you know, we are a lot of talk, but we're not a lot of doing. Just look around today. We might feel sorry for people and say, oh, I wish there was so much more I could do to help, but then we just forget about it and go about our way.
We don't. Yep, you're right.
We don't do it. Are you doing what you believe in, or are you settling for what you are doing? Oh, well, do you believe in selling mobile homes? Was that your dream job whenever you were in school, just daydreaming, like, what will I be? What will I do when I grow up? Oh, I'll sit and work home, you know, work like a horse and be old by the time I'm 55.
That was not my dream.
No, What was your dream?
I didn't have a dream.
Really?
I just wanted to get out of school, I guess. I didn't really have any
Any goals?
real set goals, no.
Well, you know, I assumed that I was going to become a school teacher all those years and blew that clear out of the water first year out. Let's see what else is a good question. Are you more worried about doing things right or doing the right things?
Good question.
That's a good question. These are just things for you guys to think about through your week. Would you break the law to save a loved one?
You asked me that the other night.
Okay, I'm going to give you an example, and
You-
you don't
yeah,
know
you-
until you're put in the position. But if somebody were harming your child, would you kill them? If you had a gun handy and somebody was harming your child and you caught them harming your child, do you think that you might kill them, shoot them?
I think I would, yes.
Don't know, of course, till that time would happen, but I think some instinct, protective instincts especially, I think that, something would overcome you and make you act in a certain way that you think, oh, I probably wouldn't, but I have a feeling
I
most
think
people
if it
would.
came to protecting your family, if somebody broke into your house or those type of situations.
Yes.
Yes.
And of course, there's always, would you lie for a loved one, all that kind of stuff.
Lie to a loved one.
Yeah. Okay, what are you hiding?
Next week on Talk Time.
Yeah. It'll be talk time with Tonya and Doug separately. How come the things that make you happy don't make everyone happy? That's a good thing. We always think, I like to force you to like the same things I do, but that doesn't always work, does it?
Not always.
No. Are you holding on to something you need to let go of? Just something to think about. Is there anything out there you're holding on to that you need to let go of? Would you rather be a worried genius or a joyful simpleton?
Joyful simpleton.
Joyful simpleton. I know that I am a worried genius, but I'm a worried simpleton.
Yeah. And you're a genius at it.
I am. I'm a genius at being a worried simpleton. So these are all things good to think about. Have you been the kind of friend you want as a friend? I just slobbered there. I'm sorry. I'm tired tonight too. I'm sorry, folks. Have you been the kind of friend you want as a friend? Probably not always. Not always, but we don't have
I'm not
friends.
going to answer these.
I know, they're thought-provoking. These are mainly for you guys just to think about. But I don't really hang out with too many people other than you. I mean, we have friends, but I think that it's sad to say you're my best friend. I hope I'm yours.
We're loners.
Yeah. This is an excellent one. Would you rather lose all of your old memories or never be able to make new ones? So you could either, from here, right now, make new memories, lose all the old, or keep all your old memories and never be able to make new ones. Who thinks of this stuff? That's pretty...
There's somebody in a cell somewhere coming up with
Probably. Probably one of those prisoners that escaped out of the
Yeah.
emergency exit. Let's try just a couple more. This is good. What is your happiest childhood memory and what makes it so special? Do you have any good childhood memories?
Quite a few.
What's some of the funnest things that you can think of? Is funnest a word?
It is tonight.
Okay. What is the funnest thing?
My best childhood memories are from down in Snake Spring. We lived next door to the Slocums.
Mm-hmm.
They had 4 kids, and we just hung out just about every day, either in the creek or in the mountains, playing, whatever. But
Yeah.
we had a lot of good times.
That's good. I had a lot of good times too. I going to my grandparents' house we went visiting every Sunday, and a lot of times we'd go to my grandma Feathers, and we had a ton of cousins. And also when I go to my grandma Ways, there was a ton of cousins there. I mean, everybody had a lot of kids. So just being able to play with family members, we just had good childhood memories. We were blessed with great families, loving people in our lives, and it's a shame that not everybody can say that.
Yeah,
But-
a lot of people do not have
Yeah,
that.
we had
we were
I had a
blessed with
wonderful, yes. I'm just going to do a few more before we get to this here. When was the last time, sorry about that, you marched into the dark with only the soft glow of an idea you strongly believed in? These are like really But think about it. Let me read that again. When was the last time you marched into the dark with only the soft glow of an idea you strongly believed in?
It's been a while.
Well, you know, that kind of reminds me of your faith. If we believe in Jesus, I think of Jesus as being the light. If we take Jesus with us, and even though a lot of the world doesn't believe in him, if we take that idea of him with us out into that dark world, I don't know, that just made me think of that. Because we strongly believe in him, and he's that light that glows in the dark. I don't know.
Well, he definitely is the light, and there is a lot of darkness out there.
Oh, this is a hard one. If you knew that, this is really morbid. If you knew that everyone you know was going to die tomorrow, who would you visit today? Wouldn't that cause a lot of fights? You wouldn't.
We better not answer that.
You guys think about it. If everybody you knew was going to die tomorrow, who would you visit today? Okay. Oh, this was good. This shows who's vain and who's not. Would you be willing to reduce your life expectancy by 10 years to become extremely attractive or famous? Maybe in our youth.
Yeah, I don't think so.
Okay. Well, I know I wouldn't now because we're getting older. 10 years makes a big difference. But as a young people who are having peer pressure, I could see that they might, because you know, kids think they're going to live forever anyway. But okay, let's just do one more. This is a good one. Decisions are being made right now. The question is, are you making them for yourself, or are you letting others make them for you? Interesting, interesting. Those are just some thought provokers that I thought would be good to read.
Very good.
But we are going to get into some more serious questions. And I was going to play a 3-minute video of why do we believe what we believe. Did you have anything you wanted to say before I play that 3-minute video?
Nope.
Okay, I'm going to put it right up to the camera.
Okay.
And we're just going to see, why do we believe what we believe?
I believe in every drop of rain that falls.
Okay. A flower grows. Do you know the rest of it?
I don't know the words.
But it sure was a great song. Okay, where is the video? Let me see here.
Believe what you believe? Well, if you're like me, you think about that shit every day and it gets kind of annoying. Anyways, when I was younger, I blindly believed whatever it was I was taught by my parents and teachers, which is something most of us do and that scientists have found is in our biology. I never stopped to think I might be wrong or that another person's view might be right. It was only after being introduced to the ideas of Eastern philosophy and religion and meeting various Christians and Muslims that my mind started to open to the possibility that my rigidly held beliefs might be wrong. Thought Monkey here. Today we'll explore the why of our beliefs. Not why they are right or wrong, but why we believe them in the first place. Weeks ago I was listening to the Joe Rogan podcast, and an interesting idea popped up in the discussion that Rogan was having with his guest. It was the idea that most people believe what they believe based on the geography of where they grew up. So for example, if you grow up in a particular part of India, 9 times out of 10, you'll believe whatever beliefs that the people in that part of India believe. Likewise, if you grow up along the Bible Belt of the United States South, you are more likely to practice a form of evangelical Protestantism than a person who grew up in the ultra-progressive Bay Area of California. The same could be said of any kind of beliefs, whether religious, political, or simply your beliefs about what you should eat for breakfast, or when you should drop the kids off at the pool. While our biology craves belief, as without it we lose our sense of belongingness, our beliefs probably largely come from our environment. You see, it is the combination between our biology and geography that largely dictate what we believe, and it is often only through exposure to different beliefs that one can start to think about changing her or his own beliefs. So when you or I say or think that this person is wrong or crazy because he or she believes in something called Allah, she or he might be thinking the same thing about us and our beliefs. It is only when you can understand that people believe what they believe based on their experiences in life, which largely come from the places they grew up, that you can start to accept the fact that you too are a product of your experiences and your geography, which is probably why you believe what you believe. In the West, where objectiveness is highly valued, we often feel we are more logical than in other places of the world. Despite this, something we all do, whether from the Western world or not, is engage in bias. Bias is easy to understand but hard to perceive in ourselves. It's an assumption, belief, conclusion, decision, or emotion that changes our perception and limits our choices for responding to an experience. There are at least 75 types of biases that psychologists have studied. One of the most common is something called confirmation bias, which is when we find evidence that supports our beliefs while discounting any evidence that goes against our beliefs. You can see this in modern-day politics, where many Republicans around the US have refused to believe that climate change is actually happening, despite the overwhelming amount of evidence that supports such a view and the fact that 99% of scientists agree with that belief, and also the fact that the east coast of Florida is slowly disappearing into the ocean. There is some evidence that shows that one reason we may stick with our beliefs is that we have to consume extra energy to rewire the neurons in our brain when we change the way we think. In other words, those who refuse to change their beliefs in spite of such overwhelming evidence may make that choice simply out of neurological laziness. So it seems that our beliefs start with our biology, develop due to our geography, and stay put because of laziness, or maybe even fear. Life is too short though. Why spend all your time thinking about beliefs, or trying to rewire your brain just to change your beliefs? Just go out and do you. Your beliefs really only affect you and the other people living on this planet. Oh, and probably the planet too. No biggie though, just live, baby.
So, Doug, what was your thoughts on that video?
Oh, I was supposed to listen to it.
Yeah, funny. I showed it to you the other day. What do you think? Do you think we're a product of where we grew up?
I certainly believe that. We learned things as kids. Our parents taught us things, and kind of believe that to this day. And a lot of times we don't ask questions as to why we believe it.
And the reason we don't ask questions, once again, is because we're discouraged from young up to ask questions about anything.
Like you said, it takes energy to change our neurons, or
Whatever he said they
in
were.
our brain. And I don't have that much energy.
Well, I like what he said about the bias, that even if we all do bias. We all do that with anything. He did say, like politics, or we do that with scripture in the Bible. We will pick and choose certain things, and once we get them set in our mind, it doesn't matter what somebody else says, even if they have a way to prove it or have good sound advice or whatever. We don't want to change our thinking.
We don't even want to hear it.
We don't even want to hear it. We're not even open to discussion, questions, nothing.
It's amazing, especially in the politics realm, but you can see it in everything. You think a certain way, and we've become to the point where we can't even have that discussion. We can't meet in the middle and have a debate without getting irritated or angry anymore.
Yeah.
So we are all biased.
And we are also, just like he said, depending on where you grew up, it would be who your parents are, what they believe, because in all reality, we believe our parents when we're growing up because we trust them. We think that they have all the answers, and what our parents tell them is typically what their parents told them and how they were raised. So it's just the way it is.
It's a thought too. I just had a thought. Being where you're raised. Just for example, my grandparents, Dad's mom and dad, that would have been Dorothy and Fred. They lived in Shellsburg. Dad and Mom were brought up in Shellsburg in the Man's Choice area, and they did not move out of the area. They've always been here. They raised us kids here. Except for a short stint where I went to Florida, I pretty much have been raised here. So being here, I have not experienced anything much different. Different cultures, different languages, different people, different societies. So what I believe is here. And
Yes.
if you're not exposed to anything else, then that's
what you believe,
That's
yeah.
what you were taught, and that's what you're going to believe.
Yeah. So there was a question here that I found interesting, and then we'll get back to these serious questions. Why do placebos work? And this will just tell you how what we believe has the power to change our lives, has the power, I mean,
You're,
your perception, everything, what you believe. This is, why do placebos work? As long as people believe they're taking medicine, it'll actually work. It's an incredible fact about how the human mind works. The placebo effect has such a massive impact on our health that new medicines have to be tested against sugar pills to prove that they really work. But the weird thing we don't talk about is that we don't actually have any clue why those sugar pills work in the first place. They're sugar and they're pills, so why would they work? We definitely know it has something to do with the mind. We know that the red placebos work better than the white ones. Did you know that?
I did not know that.
No, you read that the other night. And why would red work better than white? We know that placebos handed out by doctors in white coats work better than placebos handed out by assistants. There again, our mind is telling us that that doctor has more education, that doctor knows what he's doing. So if he's handed me this is going to work better than the assistant, the nurse's aide, or whoever's there. And we know that the effect can be absurdly powerful. In fact, in some extreme cases, placebos have been as powerful in relieving pain as morphine.
That's crazy.
That is crazy. But things get a bit weirder than that. One study found that placebos even work on people who know they are taking placebos. How does that happen? The doctors told them they were getting fake sugar pills that didn't do anything, and the pills still made an astronomical difference on their recovery. But we still don't know why they work. For some reason, we can trick our brains into shutting off pain, and we have no idea why. So that tells you what we believe can make a difference in everything.
Everything.
Everything. So, now we're getting down to some serious questions that we're not going to answer one way or the other. But eventually, I would like to, in another talk time, go over some of these with some different people's viewpoints. Not necessarily our viewpoints, not to say one's right, one's wrong, but just to give you some ideas of some different viewpoints.